she has to say.
Yeah, when you're talking about outages, we have 360,000 people without power right now. Have you been in touch with CenterPoint? Are they giving you any idea of the timeline?
CenterPoint is embedded with us right here at our Emergency Operations Center. I was in touch with their representative just a few minutes ago, and the concern is wind. It's too windy still for them to go out and fix those down power lines. It's dangerous for their crews, and they might restore a power line only to see it come back down. And so we're waiting perhaps till the end of the morning. Once those winds pass, that's when they're going to send their crews out, and they tell me they're going to get it done as quickly as possible. In the meantime, they ask, and I'm asking this of the community, if you see a down power line, first, don't touch it. Assume it's live. Make sure you keep your kids away from it. And second, call and report it. You can dial CenterPoint or you can dial 911. We have fire crews here that are going out and checking whether it's live and then connecting with CenterPoint. So that's something you can really do to help.
You know, you were talking about the worst is over. Have you had any reports of any fatalities, any injuries?
We have not had reports of fatalities and injuries. We're still assessing damages, in particular the extent of debris damage, the extent of any structure damage, particularly to the southeast. But thankfully, it became more of a wind event, and it's moving out of our region. There is debris out on the roads still, and so that's something else that continues to be an impact. As we go do the assessments, as the crews go out and pick up the debris, we need folks to try to stay off the roads. If you can avoid it, spend the day at home. If you can avoid being out on the roads, spend the day at home. A lot of schools are canceled. Pretty much all schools are canceled. A lot of offices are closed, pretty much all of them. So that way you can help us help our crews. That way you help the crews do the work and pick up the debris. We don't see anything major, but there is debris out on some of the roads.
And let me ask you though, this was kind of a good test run. Did we learn anything about preparations maybe for the next, hopefully, larger storm that doesn't come by?
Yeah, we always have to rehearse this in some ways. Hurricanes, weather, tropical storms, heavy rain, all of this is part and parcel of living in this region. And so for first responders here, it's an opportunity as well to check their plans, the communication between us and the various cities. Right now, for example, we're requesting a report from all our 34 cities, so we exercise that, make sure we know everything that's going on. Every time we do this, we get better at pre-staging vehicles. We get better at that communication with the community, with nonprofit groups. So all of that was built in case of a worst case scenario, and each time we exercise that, we do better. I think the community as well, it's muscle memory. So, same recommendations as usual. In fact, right now, the same conversation we had during the winter storm applies. Some folks are turning on generators for, because they're out of power. And so what we need folks to remember is once again, those generators can lead to carbon monoxide poisoning if you bring them outside, or if you keep them beneath an awning that could filter that carbon monoxide into your house. And so make sure you're very careful with those generators. And the final piece I want to mention, as far as for the community to keep in mind, natural gas. We had some trees that were down. When the trees fall, they uproot sometimes those natural gas lines. And so if you smell gas in your home, go outside. Don't call from inside the house using the cell phone with natural gas is dangerous, but make sure and call CenterPoint or call 911 so they can go take care of that. That's something that we can see. So yes, we always learn from this. We're grateful the impacts weren't worse. Grateful to the community for being very careful on the roads. And if you can help us stay off a little bit longer off the road, that's just great for the crews.
And then just last question, because the vaccination and the COVID testing sites are down today, do you expect them to be reopened tomorrow for the county? I
expect our county vaccination sites and our testing sites to be open tomorrow, and we continue to offer the $100 incentive for anybody who receives their first shot, not just at Harris County Public Health sites, but at any site within Harris County.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
No, just if you need me to add anything in Spanish.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Just a recap of everything, if you can remember all of that.
Okay. Hoy día han amanecido las condiciones mucho mejor a medida que va pasando la mañana.
You've been listening to Harris County Judge Lina Hidalgo giving us an update on the impacts of Tropical Storm Nicholas and the county's response. She covered quite a bit of ground there, a lot to glean from that news conference. Her big messages this morning, as we've been talking about, is if you are out and about, which she does not recommend, is to make sure that you avoid debris on the roadways, which there is plenty of, depending on where you live.
Right.
And also don't touch live wires, because we have been seeing many reports across the area of down power lines.
She's saying if you see a down power line, don't go near it, of course. Even if you smell natural gas, to get out of the house, a call from your cell phone for assistance. But Judge Lina Hidalgo giving a summary of what they've seen across the county this morning. More on Tropical Storm Nicholas right after this. Stay with us.